Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Ron Placone and the Miserable Liberal.
I'm miserable.
Howdy, howdy.
So now there are some especially egregiously, atrociously obnoxious a-hole people on Twitter who are anti-progressives and anti-Bernies, yet they call themselves, Democrats or liberals or whatever. And one of the worst of all times is this woman, Sally Albright, right? Right? Now, she's one of the absolute worst. Well, just as an example of the stuff she tweets. She talks about Bernie offering free college, and she somehow makes it racist. What the? Again,
that was one of her greatest hits.
One of her greatest hits. That's from this year, January 16th. So I didn't have to go that far back to find something crazy or horrible or atrocious. So there it is. Does it benefit anyone who isn't already going to college and just doesn't want to pay? Reinforcing the status quo is racist. What? It would be free for everybody, not just white people. It'd be free for African Americans and Hispanics and Asians and white people. It would be for everybody.
You know the greatest argument ever for free college? 14 people liked that tweet.
Ha! That's what they call a bad ratio. So you see she has 85 responses to this, only 14 likes.
It's not the best.
That's called a bad ratio. So people are commenting, not liking your post on your own timeline.
So when Ronald Reagan got rid of free college tuition in the state of California, it wasn't racism?
That was him being good to minorities. When Ronald Reagan got rid of free college in California, he was getting rid of that racist free college policy.
Ronald Reagan, he's a civil...
he was a civil rights fighter.
Civil rights, yeah.
He was ahead of his time.
He was way ahead. People thought he was racist himself because he demonized poor black people as welfare queens and made up stories about them that didn't exist. But no, he did a big help. He started making them pay full price for college. And that's how do you fight racism? You start charging minorities to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you fight racism.
He was upfront about it too. They'd be like, Ronald Reagan, why are you getting rid of free college? He'd be like, minorities, you're welcome. He'd be like, we didn't think about it that way.
He was actually upfront about it. They asked him, why are you doing this? And he said, why should I subsidize the education of people who are going to vote against me?
Mm-hmm.
Sally Albright, are you listening?
So that's who Sally is. She's the worst of the worst, and she tries to pretend she's a regular normal person or a liberal or whatever, and because she voted for Hillary Clinton and hated Bernie, but she turns out she worked for Newt Gingrich for a while too. So she's just a scum.
Oh well, Newt Gingrich also wants kids to clean classrooms,
Right? I know.
So they can really learn how to value their education.
Poor kids don't have a work ethic. That's the problem. So this is from HuffPo. It said how a Twitter fight over Bernie Sanders revealed a network of fake accounts. One Democratic Party consultant said an unnamed client controlled many of these accounts. Well, who was that person? Sally Albright. So, real quick, I'll give you some background. This is from that article. In Mexico, allies of President Enrique Peña Nieto have deployed swarms of Twitter bots to overwhelm and effectively shut down online debates. Journalists in the United States experienced a similar flood during the 2016 election from pro-Trump neo-Nazi sock puppet accounts posting anti-Semitic death threats. Often, instead of suppressing speech it doesn't like, the Chinese government these days drowns it on local social media platforms with a flood of pro-government content. University of North Carolina scholar Zeynep Tufekci has labeled this tactic a new form of censorship. So why do I tell you that? Well, I tell you that first because that's pretty much essentially what people like Sally Albright have been doing, and the David Brock trolls that are hired by the Hillary Clinton campaign or working for in conjunction.
Record correctors.
So Sally Albright got into a Twitter spat with this guy named Trevor. He doesn't give his last name because he doesn't want to be doxxed. So in this article at HuffPo, he says that he's a Sanders supporter who declined. So there you go. He noticed a strange pattern of behavior when Albright responded to him. Her tweets addressing him were rapidly retweeted by the same series of accounts. This created a barrage of notifications, making it look as though there was an avalanche of opposition to everything he said. But as Trevor discovered, after an extensive amount of research that he posted online, these were not normal accounts. They appeared to be bots, automated accounts masked as real people being used to amplify a particular political message. Who is really pulling the strings, however, remains a mystery.
Oh, really?
Albright told Huffington Post that the accounts were voluntarily handed over by their original users to an unnamed client of hers to be automated in an analytical program. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That's not a good explanation.
Oh, so she has an automatic propaganda machine.
Yeah. She's saying, they were voluntary. Some people voluntarily handed them over to someone who tweets bot stuff for me. Not good. She said she was bound by a non-disclosure agreement and could not disclose who was collecting and automating these accounts or for what purpose. But like her, these accounts were all pro-Clinton, anti-Trump, and anti-Sanders. Twitter allows users to automate their accounts, including setting up automatic retweeting and liking of other accounts. This increases activity on the platform, something Twitter obviously wants to do, and allows busy users to promote messages or businesses that they support. Presumably, Twitter did not anticipate that users would simply hand their accounts over to another person or campaign to artificially spread the latter's tweets. I bet Twitter did anticipate that and didn't give a F. That's what I'm thinking. The ability to swamp a debate with automated messages is a problem for political discourse around the world. Twitter is a vital platform for political debate. Automating Twitter accounts to retweet or otherwise promote specific messages thus becomes a tactic to silence political debate and squelch free speech. So exactly what they were accusing the Russian bots of doing, turns out the blue Twitter bots are doing it.
Yep. And they're out in the open about it.
And they're out in the open. They don't, David Brock, they brag that they, circumvented campaign finance laws by having the Twitter trolls correct the record.
Mm-hmm.
They brag that they got around it and that they brag how effective they are. Over the course of the last year or so, Albright was their favorite account to retweet, almost always as a group. The fake accounts also retweeted people who responded to Albright's tweets, again, usually as a group and often while in a debate with other users. The writers at Share Blue, you know who those Share Blue guys, those guys are the dregs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those guys are the dregs. A pro-Democratic Party news site. They try to call themselves progressives, the guys who write for Share Blue. We're progressives. You just spent 2 years propping up Hillary Clinton. You're not a progressive. They're just blatant liar. You're a progressive liar. They're progressive liars at Share Blue. That's
if
for
you
sure.
share it, you get the blues.
You get the blues. That's it. They were also frequently retweeted by the network of fake accounts. Really? Really? Particularly when the Share Blue folks had something negative to say about Sanders. That's such a coinky-dink. These accounts also liked hashtag resistance celebrities like liberal conspiracy theorist Eric Garland. Time for some game theory. Talk about a conspiracy theorist. That guy's nuts. That guy, talk about talking out of your ass. Jesus. That Eric Garland guy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see his stuff?
And his runner-up.
And his runner-up at Harvard Law, Professor Lawrence Tribe, who we just featured him in another video of doing this exact crap thing. Isn't that something? And they were often deployed in intra-Democratic Party battles. When Albright led a Twitter campaign to attack a 2017 women's conference for inviting Senator Sanders to speak after Clinton, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand had turned them down, the automated account network deployed to retweet her and any positive responses to her tweets. Albright probably didn't need those retweets, as there were actual people opposing the conference's decision. Still, Someone questioned her campaign to block Sanders from speaking, describing it as similar to Russian division strategy. She wrote back, "Nyet, I am not Russian." Then over a dozen fake accounts retweeted her.
Man, I just love that mode of thinking over there at Correct the Record. Look, free college is racist. Universal health care is a pony. And if you're not with her, you gave us Trump. See you at Peter Dow's CD release party. We're out.
Albright admitted to the HuffPo that she had handed over a number of accounts to that unnamed client that had been connected to previous projects of hers and that were no longer in use. So what she's claiming is that people she knows gave her the use of their Twitter accounts, and she gave them over to this third person who then uses all those to help prop up her tweets. And so she's not responsible. Who the F does that? Who takes someone else's account and gives it to someone else's account? I've never even heard of that until now. Did you?
And then she's not able to reveal who those clients
you can't,
are?
what?
Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense.
She also said that she changed the pictures for some of them. So she's changing the avatars on the profile pics of the Twitter people. That's exactly what a spammer does. That's what spammers do.
Yeah.
One of the Albright linked accounts at Over the Bay Bridge appears to have a picture of an actual person named Kirby Manning. But the Manning photo has been taken from someone else and appropriated for this account. The real person is Brinkley Hutchings, a leadership coach and environmental activist in Alabama. Other accounts that Albright said she provided to her client's project included Propaganda Monster, Druid City Media, Voter Protection, Buck's Pocket, Sallying, and Social Capital. Each of these accounts was connected to a website domain that had been purchased by Sally Albright.
At least one of them has an honest name.
Sallying?
Propaganda Monster.
Oh, Propaganda Monster. I don't really see it as the same thing as Russian accounts.
Of course not.
But I guess since you're calling me about it, I guess that means that it's something that I didn't think that it was. If that makes sense.
No.
It doesn't.
I like when people say that, if that makes sense. Albright said, people seem upset by it in a way I did not anticipate. Again, just a duplicitous, transparent bullshitter. Could not be more. If you can't see through that, then I got a bridge I want to sell you in Florida. How about that? If you can't see through that, then you really believe Trump's tax plan is going to be good for you.
Wouldn't there be somebody that would like a family member or something that would kind of like I just picture some of these people like, hey, what'd you do today? Well, first I made fun of a bunch of Bernie Sanders supporters and I tweeted at them, and then I got some of my other accounts to tweet at them too, and then I gave some of them pictures because I was tired at looking at all the eggs, and it's like, okay, we need to talk. It's time for an intervention.
So that's pretty interesting. And that's a fun story, and good work over to that guy, Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the gentleman at Huffington Post who put this together? Let me give him a shout out.
Yeah, because this one's been spreading like wildfire. A lot of people have been sharing this article.
His name is
Paul
Blumenthal.
Paul Blumenthal.
Nice work by Paul Blumenthal. So there you go. That's super interesting. What's to say that so apparently she should just hire some Russian trolls and she would be much more effective. She could have swung the election back to Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. She's just hiring the wrong trolls. That's all.
Well, she didn't have a meme of Hillary Clinton with rainbow abs either. Somebody she didn't think of that.
She didn't think of a shirtless meme for Bernie.
No, that wasn't her.
And I know this is so basic, but if you really believe in the platform that you're perpetuating or any ideas that you want to communicate on Twitter, why then do you have to link yourself to anonymous accounts? If you really believe and you really are speaking
about
to
what you say,
yes.
Wouldn't you want to actually know if it connects with people? Wouldn't you want to actually know if your ideas are landing? Wouldn't you, instead of because they're propagandists, Steph. They're not telling the truth. This is called lying publicly to push a political position. And I bet any money I bet She's being paid to do it.
I'd imagine so.
Of course
yes.
she is. She has clients.
And she's a Democratic consultant. And so this also, by the way, the more popular her tweets look, the more it looks like she's popular, so you might want to hire her. So it's all propaganda. Again, there's propaganda on top of propaganda. She's doing, by the way, she is an expert. She's doing multi-layered and multi-pronged propaganda at one time.
Maybe, just maybe, she tried a more inclusive approach on Facebook and it didn't work. Like maybe she posted, "Free college is racist, thoughts?" And everyone below was like, "What's your problem?" She was like, "I gotta try something else."
So there you go. And now you know the rest of the story. And now you know how stupid it is that Robert Mueller, trying to pretend that 13 Russian Twitter bots somehow influenced our election. So now you know this is a big propaganda. This is WMDs all over again. And you're seeing how it happens. None of those people are going to be indicted. Did they throw the election? Didn't they throw the election? So crazy. So nuts. So please, I got to ask you a favor. Please make sure you find a way to support the show. You can become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material. Or March 26th is our Monday night show in Austin, Texas, a live Jimmy Dore show. And March 30th in Burbank, California is a live Jimmy Dore show. Links for tickets right there. Please make sure you're subscribed to our show, even if you think you are. It only takes a second to check. And then click that bell to make sure you get a notification when we drop a video. Thanks for your support.